March 31st is Transgender Day of Visibility. This occasion was created by transgender activist Rachel Crandall of Michigan in 2009 as a reaction to the lack of 2S LGBTQ+ recognition of transgender people. As a pastor and being part of a community of faith, I want to say that as followers of Jesus, we welcome and include everyone. I also want to say a few things about where we are as a society and who we might be as a church. One fact is that change happens. Throughout time, we have seen how animals and plants have evolved. I would want to say that while some say God does not change, what we actually take in faith is that God's love is everlasting. But God, the source of life, changes along with the rest of us. So we, as the church, can be open to change more than we've sometimes shown ourselves to be. Society struggles with moving forward together. We are made up of people of different backgrounds and systems of belief. Sometimes we aren't always open to each other. This also is a place where we, as churches, have opportunity to show welcome, acceptance, and inclusion. We have opportunities to be places of safety and warmth when the world may feel cold and heartless. That is certainly what Gloria Day strives for. Now, a majority of people are heterosexual, and a majority would be binary in their gender identity, that is, male or female. But not all are. Our task as a welcoming and inclusive Christian community is to be open to all people, especially those who are in the minority or who may experience marginalization in society. So, for some clarification, sexual orientation has to do with an inherent or immutable, enduring emotional, romantic, or sexual attraction to other people. Note that an individual's sexual orientation is independent of their gender identity. Gender identity has to do with one's innermost concept of self as male, female, a blend of both, or neither. How individuals perceive themselves and what they call themselves. One's gender identity can be the same or different from the sex assigned at birth. By way of a definition, a transgender person is someone whose gender identity differs from that typically associated with the sex they were assigned at birth. The term for a person who identifies as the sex they were assigned at birth is cisgender. I am a cisgender male. Here is some information about transgender people. I hope it is helpful in your journey to open yourself and be welcoming. And this information comes from the American organization National Center for Transgender Equality. When a person begins to live according to their gender identity, rather than the gender they were thought to be when they were born, this time period is called gender transition. Deciding to transition can take a lot of reflection. Many transgender people risk social stigma, discrimination, and harassment when they tell other people who they really are. Despite those risks, being open about one's gender identity can be life-affirming and even life-saving. Possible steps in a gender transition may or may not include changing your clothing, appearance, name, or the pronoun people use to refer to you, like she, he, or they. If they can, some people change their identification documents, like their driver's license or passport, to better reflect their gender. And some people undergo hormone therapy or other medical procedures to change their physical characteristics and make their body match the gender they know themselves to be. Even though it should go without saying, all transgender people are entitled to the same dignity and respect, regardless of whether or not they have been able to take any legal or medical steps. Some transgender people identify as neither a man nor a woman, or as a combination of male and female, and may use terms like non-binary or genderqueer to describe their gender identity. Those who are non-binary often prefer to be referred to as they and them. It is important to use respectful terminology and treat transgender people as you would treat any other person. This includes using the name the person has asked you to call them, not their old name or dead name, as well as the pronouns they want you to use. If you aren't sure what pronouns a person uses, just ask politely. I encourage you in your journey to be open, to love your transgender neighbor as yourself. And to my transgender siblings, I see you. This pastor loves you without reservation, and I want you to know that you are beloved children of God. Happy Transgender Day of Visibility. May our hearts and minds be open, may the church